In a recent video, I did a software restore of my Digital Starion 917 PC, and then I did a bit of a demo of the software that was included. But one of the pieces of software I wanted to go over, I saved for this video, and that was the Microsoft Home CD Sampler. Now unfortunately I don't have the original CD, and I don't even have the CD wallet, but I was browsing archive.org and I came across this. So this is a printout of the sleeve that the Microsoft Home CD Sampler came in for our Digital Starion 917. So I printed it out and I was going to buy the CD. Now this is just printed out on some A4 paper in colour. What I'm going to do probably is buy a cardboard CD case, a bit like this CD Sampler. Now this is the one that came after this. You can actually get this version on eBay, but it doesn't come with this CD sleeve, so I'm going to reproduce it hopefully. But why am I interested in this and why do I want to demo it? Well, everybody is familiar with things like this. Now this is a brochure from Microsoft that promotes their products. It's got loads of information in there about Microsoft Dangerous Creatures in Carter 95. Now that actually came with our Starion, and there was other pieces of software that I kind of lusted after, and I lusted after them because of this CD. Rather than just reading, the advert, I actually got to see demos of the software, and it had quite a big impact on me, so I thought I'd showcase it. Now these CD samplers aren't anything particularly special, and you'll actually find a CD sampler on a later version of Microsoft Windows 95. But me as a kid living in Germany on an airbase didn't have access to very much software, so being able to see what was available was great fun. So let's turn the deck on and have a look, right after this message from PCBWay. Our good friends over at PCBWay have kindly sponsored this video. PCBWay offers a variety of services from PCB production and assembly to 3D printing in various materials, injection moulded plastics and even sheet metal fabrication. They offer a very professional and high quality service for extremely reasonable prices. Check out a link for their website in the description below. So the original plan was to open the CD sampler on the deck in Windows 95. However, I ran out of blank CDs, and at the time of recording it was too late to go and get some more. So I thought I'd install daemon tools and use the ISO that I downloaded from archive.org. The problem next is the deck didn't have a network card, as I'd removed this for the install. So I put it back in and did a restart, and I didn't get an IP address. And this is because some stupid engineer at Microsoft had decided not to include the TCP/IP protocol when installing a network card driver. So after another reboot, the deck had an IP address. The next problem was I didn't have an FTP client to connect to my FTP server. So I found one, copied it to floppy, and then copied it over to the machine. At this point I thought I was ready. I copied the ISO over from the FTP server. I also copied over daemon tools and began the install. And this is where I hit another roadblock. The version of Windows 95 that the DEC Software Restoration CD installed is Windows 95 RTM. Whereas Daemon Tools requires the USB supplement for Windows 95, which will only work with Windows 95B. So at this point I gave up with Windows 95, took out the hard drive and put in my 2GB hard drive with Windows 98 on. And this is where we pick up the story.
Welcome to Microsoft Home. On this CD you'll be able to sample a broad line of easy-to-use software products that make your home PC more useful and enjoyable for the whole family. Find out how you can do what you want to do.
In the previous video I showed briefly the custom entertainment pack, which included 8 games. If it wasn't already installed on your machine, you could install it from here. The software is set out into sections, or you could click on all products and see them all in one view. Kids, for example, would show software titles aimed at children, or entertainment would show a list of games or simulation titles such as Flight Sim or Space Sim. I did buy Space Sim back in the day, but I soon lost patience with it after crashing the LEM into the lunar surface numerous times or exploding my rocket on the pad at Cape Canaveral. But it was here first I saw the Microsoft Natural Keyboard. I've used them for over 25 years now and wouldn't go back to using a regular one. But I've no idea why I found this concept so interesting, considering the voice of the guy doing the demo is enough to put you to sleep. I managed to find a lovely new old stock keyboard a couple of years back. It hasn't yellowed at all and it's in great shape. It's so cool to see this keyboard with the software demo on the machine I originally saw it on, and I would have killed for one of these as a kid.
Welcome to the new standard for more comfortable, simpler Windows computing. Over the past 25 years, computer technology has made revolutionary advancements. Computers have become more and more powerful, while at the same time becoming smaller and smaller.
Okay, thanks Mr. Presentation Man, I've had enough of you for the moment. What I really like about the CD sampler was being able to see the demos rather than just reading a paragraph or two in a pamphlet. Mr. Presentation Man goes on for another 2 minutes bestowing the virtues of the keyboard before the demo ends and takes you back to the overview page. There are links at the top of the page which take you to other things an early 90s marketing person thinks you might be interested in, and here is where we see the Microsoft Home mouse. Now, I've been after one of these for years, and then I came across not one but three in a relatively short space of time. But let me be clear, this mouse is terrible. It's somewhat ergonomic, but I fear the designer got bored or mixed up his designs with his kids' homework, because the top of the mouse isn't ergonomic at all and resembles the roof of a house and a garage, with a cable coming out of a chimney. I have to admit it is rather cute. All I can say is I wasn't exposed to many other peripherals other than the ones that were on this CD.
Husband, wife, son, daughter, it doesn't matter who uses your Microsoft Home mouse the most. That's because it was designed to fit comfortably in the hands of everyone, from adults to small children, whether they use their left or right hand. The unique shape and color distinguish it from other mice on the market, as does the special IntelliPoint Home Edition software package that comes with it. But there's more to the Home mouse than just a pretty face.
There are two differences between the mice I have and what's on the demo, and that's the logo and the box. I've never been able to find an exact match. And there is currently a mouse in box on eBay.com in red, but it's a little out of my price bracket at $700. There are 41 titles to look at, and recently I appear to have started trying to obtain them all, which means I think I've started a new collection. Another thing I really liked were wallpapers. Our machine initially wasn't hooked up to the internet, as that came later when I secretly hooked up a cable under the carpet and then used my dad's credit card information to set up an account. But that's a story for another time. Now, the wallpapers were either what had come with your computer or what you'd drawn in Microsoft Paint, or, like me, you'd taken screenshots from the Microsoft Scenes demo and used those instead. Microsoft Scenes was originally for Windows 3.1, but worked on Windows 95. It's basically a collection of photos in specific genres, which can be used as wallpapers or screensavers for your computer. There were also options to send in photos, slides or negatives and get these put onto floppy disk or CD-ROM, and then you could add these as your own personal collection. The odd thing I've come to find with this though is the software always needs to run to show the wallpaper. If you close it, it goes back to using whatever wallpaper was configured in Windows. The images are compressed and are of low quality. One of the demos for Microsoft Scenes showed a parrot, which I have a particular fondness for. Having rediscovered the CD sampler, when I saw the parrot for the first time in over 28 years, it was like seeing an old friend, and I have to admit to getting a little emotional about it. By today's standards it's terribly low quality, but for the price of free and pressing the print screen button at just the right moment, Percy the parrot was my Windows 95 friend that I'd see on a daily basis for a good number of years. So that's a quick look at the Microsoft Home CD sampler. As you can tell, Microsoft were really pushing multimedia, and this was a great way to demonstrate it. I love the aesthetic of it, it's so of its time. I'm guessing for most people, these CDs weren't given much thought. But for me, it was a great way to while away half an hour or so every now and again. It's a great little time capsule, and I'm forever grateful for the person who uploaded it. Well, that's the end of the video. Thanks ever so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one.